In this video, I'm going to show you the exact trade that I took that made me 1 to 8.5 RR and how it helped hundreds of other members inside Surge pass not only their phase 1s, but also their phase 2 funded accounts, as well as many members making profits on their live funded accounts, as well as people like myself who only trade personal accounts also being able to make thousands. Let's get right into it. Firstly, to start off, one core element of a trading strategy that a lot of people struggle to find, which helps them build the narrative of their actual trade idea, is liquidity. Whether that's previous weekly high, previous daily high, liquidity is a key important reason that the market is going to move in the direction that you want it to move. And what I mean by that is liquidity is an area where people have their stop loss set, a lot of retail traders, and you want to think that the market wants to go and take out the retail traders before moving in the correct direction. And so that's what we have here. People who have been shorting after this massive down spike when markets opened on Monday or Sunday evening for everyone in the UK. We can see that a lot of people started shorting around here. The market pushed up, took out previous daily high. From there, we've got an hour swing high forming, and again you'll have a lot of retail sellers getting trapped into selling into this negative fair value gap there. So this negative fair value gap, obviously a lot of people are going to start selling, and they're going to get completely wiped out because they haven't looked at one, this bullish fair value gap, and then two, the liquidity. So we took out previous daily high. We then had one more sweep where the candle that took out the previous daily high, that was also turtle souped, and this is where we have our reversal. So what we'll be doing is going down onto the lower time frames, having a look and looking at the actual entry, and then going from there. In terms of our profit targets, we're looking for swing lows. So we've got one here, and we've also got one here that we could have taken profits off of, but I was very keen to see price move below here. Obviously, if you took it here, it would have been still a 1 to 5.7, which is a brilliant trade that would pass you a phase 2 or pass you a phase 1 if you're risking 2% per trade. So a lot of opportunity, a lot of gains to be made on this trade. And what I'll do now is go down to lower time frame and break it down for you. So obviously in here, very simple stuff. Previous daily high swept, turtle souped, and you can see here we have a breakdown of structure. So pushed up, came down, we broke structure, and then we just take our entry off this order block here and hold it down to our final take profit point. This is quite a precise position here where, we are calling the top of the market on the intraday profile, and this can be challenging. A lot of people struggle with this bit, especially when the time frame goes lower. A more conservative entry probably would have been here, where you see this fair value gap pushed up, came back into it, pushed up, and then came back into it, pushed up, didn't make a new high, broke below, and then could have taken an entry off of there, and that still would have been a 1 to 2 down to here, or a 1 to 3.4 to our final target point. But yeah, that's my entry model in terms of using order blocks, a lot more precise than using inverse fair value gaps in terms of the risk to reward that you can achieve. And there are a few ways which you could have gone about managing the position in terms of taking partial profits. If you wanted to take some here, you could also take some at 50% of the range as well. You can see the momentum that we had going down to here, and then also the momentum down to here. Our final target, obviously we slowed down a bit going into Tuesday. However, this is very classic sell day where we have open, high, low, and then close. So all you need is a bit of patience in terms of just allowing the trade to run out, but also at the same time you can take partial profits all the way along. The risk to reward allows you to be able to do that in this trade. So yeah, this is the little breakdown that we had. One thing I will mention, and a few members had this, however the majority all banked thousands of pounds of profit on this trade, was just up here. We got close to the stop loss, didn't hit it, but we got close. And what happened here is some people who would have a manipulative broker or a broker with not as good spreads as raw spread accounts are going to be taken out here due to spreads. So one thing I would mention, and it's a good tip for you to take forward, is if you're on a prop firm that doesn't have raw spreads, or a private broker that doesn't also have raw spreads, make sure just to give yourself a little bit of breathing room on the stop loss for spreads to be accounted. I use IC Markets and they have 0 spreads, so raw spreads on euro dollar, and that does the job for me. It kept me in the position and made a very healthy profit for this trade breakdown here. And another thing that you can look at it if you're first starting to get out into trading, or you're part of Surge and you're in a position like this, is if you're a few percent away from passing your account, you can also scale into the position. So as I said, you can scale in at this inverse fair value gap, as well as this one was also a good place to scale in, and then also you've got a fair value gap just here. So they're all good entry points that you can scale into. And what you want to see is price to be continued to support lower. Obviously we have this push up here, but this was during Asia session, so I wouldn't worry too much. Came very close to our take profit. A lot of people would have panicked and started taking their profits here, but then eventually we ran out and hit our final take profit point. So there we are. Another thing, if you want to trade with, you know, a bit of a lower risk to rewards, where the trades are higher probability of running to your final profit targets, is instead of using the order block on the 15-minute time frame, you can look onto the 1 hour and just follow the 1 hour fair value gap price action. So in terms of here, you see how we came back down, pushed back up. However, this fair value gap here came down, closed below, and then you would have been able to get an entry in here and then adjust your stop loss wherever you like it, whether it's up here, whether it's to the high of this here, and then again that's to the 1 to 4. So a lot of different options that you can take out of these trades. That is it for our trade breakdown this week. I hope to see you inside Surge very soon, taking these trades with me. And Surge is also a place where you can ask me any questions, as well as there also being other traders like myself who are providing you with trade ideas that you can benefit from, whether you are thinking of having this as a side hustle or even a full-time income like it is for me. Anyways, that's it. Been sweet, and I look forward to bringing you guys the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.